Hello, my name is Kat, and for today's installment of Factors of a Great Novel, I will be talking about character development. First, I will start with character appearance. You can do just the basics, like hair color, eye color, height, body type, or you can go more in depth and talk about what the character wears, their style, maybe the hand motions they use while talking, or even more details about their physical appearance, like what scars they might have, or if they keep their fingernails short or long, or painted or not. You can be specific or vague. You just want to give the reader some appearance clues as to what your character looks like. Now to talk about pretty much the opposite thing. Books and characters are made of words, not images. And I picked this up from John Green as he discussed character creation in a somewhat recent Swoodly Poopers video. But it's important to understand that characters are made of words and language and not images like characters in TV or the movies. So while it's useful to give your reader the hair color and eye color and height and whatnot, it matters less what the hair color is than it does which words and what language you use to develop the character. And of course, John Green says this much better than I could, so I will leave a link to that video below and you can learn more about character creation from him. Next, I want to talk about character qualities. These are things like enthusiasm or pride or irritability, stuff like that. Give your character qualities and really think about how these qualities might manifest. A really proud character wouldn't like being teased or made fun of, even by friends, even in a light manner. And maybe this prideful character is too proud to ask for help when they really need it. Or maybe they're always offering to pay at group dinners because they can't stand the idea of someone else paying for them. You also want to think about the benefits and also downsides to these qualities. The prideful character is probably very motivated and driven, and they strive for greatness in their life, so they have something to be proud of. But on the flip side, maybe they are too proud to admit when they are wrong. They are too proud to apologize. Give your characters qualities and really think about what these qualities mean. And for fun, give your characters contradicting qualities. Give one character a contradicting quality, like maybe they are very prideful, but they are also very shy and soft-spoken. Also, give two different characters contradicting qualities, like maybe your really prideful character has a really shy and modest best friend, and you can see how that dynamic plays together. Or it doesn't even have to be contradicting qualities. Give two best friends really strong, stubborn, prideful qualities and see how they clash and how that dynamic works together. I found a really cool website talking more about character qualities in depth, so I will also link that one. Next up, I want to talk about value. What is important to your character? What do they value? Both non-tangible things like qualities and also tangible things like what their most prized possessions are. Are they like Katniss Everdeen, who values being strong and tough? Do they value something as basic as food and shelter above everything else? Or maybe your character values love and they will fight for that love despite any social barriers that might stand in the way. Or maybe your character is a little more privileged and they value their Mercedes-Benz above anything else in the world. Don't hurt my car. What is important to your character? What does your character value? Next, you want to think about how your character deals with different emotions and moods. What makes them go from happy to sad and vice versa? What makes your character angry, or what makes them feel like just giving up? What makes your character calm and peaceful? You also want to think about how your character might act in certain situations. What would your character be like in a crowded party? Would they be off to the side, shy against the wall, not really doing anything? Or would they be leading a round of body shots in the center of the room? Finally, I want to mention conflict and choices. When someone faces conflict, or when someone is going through a hard time, or when someone has to make a really tough decision, that's when you really realize like the truth of that person's character. When it comes down to an actual fight or flight situation, like your character is getting mugged in a dark alley, do they fight back with everything they have or do they flee? You want to understand why your character makes the choices that they make. How would your character handle overwhelming odds against them? Or how would your character handle making a decision that could directly result in the death of 100 people? When we're faced with hard times and tough decisions, those are the moments that really define who we are as people. So that is all of the information I wanted to share, and now I want to talk about how I am applying this information to my own novel. This is kind of the assignment slash activity portion, just in case you guys want to do something similar with your own work in progress. First off, I am starting my story Bible with detailed descriptions of all the main and minor characters. By the way, a story Bible or a series Bible or whatever you want to call it is basically just a single document that you use to keep all information about your story world in. It's like a Wikipedia of your book, except you have to write it and come up with everything before you can reference it. But after you write the whole thing, it's really a fantastic reference. Hey, what's Bob's eye color again? Oh, right here in the story Bible. What are the laws of magic in this world? Oh, here it is in the story Bible. This story Bible document is where I do most, if not all, of my character development, just so I have it all in this one easily referenceable place. So after I write these detailed descriptions, I'm going to give all of my characters qualities. At the very least, 2 or 3 qualities that will kind of be their core personality traits. I'm going to brainstorm and think a lot about these qualities and specific ways they might manifest within the story. I'm also going to match up different qualities of different characters. Like Callista is a very proud character, while Asher is very lazy. So I'm going to try to think of a couple of different ways that these characters can clash over their contradicting qualities. Alliteration! And I'm going to do this with all of the main characters and maybe a few of the minor characters depending on how in-depth I want to go. In addition to this, for each character I'm going to list what they value. I'm going to give them each at least 1 quality to value and at least 1 physical object to value, but for the main characters it'll probably end up being several things that they value. I'm also going to list some standard moods and emotions and then briefly describe how each character behaves while in that mood or emotion. How does Sarah act when she is happy? What does it take to make her happy? And what does it take to thwart her happiness? I'll do this for each of the main characters and probably the minor characters as well, but to a lesser extent. Finally, I will go through my story and find the moments of conflict and the moments where characters have to make tough decisions. And after I've done all this character development, I will reevaluate how each character should be acting in that moment. And this part is really subjective to whatever kind of story you are writing. If it's a romance, then the conflict might be something like overcoming trust issues to be able to commit to the other person. If it's a thriller, then the conflict might be a life or death situation, maybe even the life or death of another person resting in your character's hands. Whatever kind of story you are writing, find the moments of conflict, the moments when your character has to make a tough decision, and really ponder and think about that tough decision and if it really exemplifies what their character is all about. Okay, that is everything I had time to share with you today. There are lots and lots and lots of aspects to character development, but of course I can't talk about everything, so I encourage you to use the power of Google. Yay, Google! The next installment of Factors of a Great Novel World Building Edition will be out in about a week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great night, and I will have a new vlog up in a couple of days. Goodbye!